All right, my name's Ruben. Welcome to Purpose Plus Pursuit. This is the channel where we bring those two things, purpose plus pursuit, and we're going to equal vision. That is the idea behind this whole content that we're putting out. So, and by we, I mean me. There's nobody else on this train just yet. So, a couple different things. One of the biggest things I want to drill in the very beginning, this is our opener, so we just kind of want to outline a few key components to what all these videos are going to have as the common denominator or the theme to the content that we're bringing. So you have baseline understanding of said topic, mid-level, surface level. So we want to talk about baseline, or what we would call baseline epistemological framework for whatever topic. Big word, epistemology. I'm not trying to get y'all carried away because we're going to be using a lot of stupid words like fuck, shit, vulgar stuff, what most people would consider vulgar. I say that on purpose. This channel is not about being vulgar or cuss words to upset people or to just for the sake of being vulgar. It's actually, again, with a purpose to those words. And a lot of the things that you see out there, we want to get this out as clear as possible on this opening video. When you have any form of debate, conversation, anything on TV or online, you see a lot of people, curtailing their words and kind of muffling the real substance because they want to be politically correct. And where I think there's times for that, that's fine. I can understand that. But for us right now, especially for this content that you're going to see out here, we're not concerned with political correctness. In fact, we want to fight against political correctness because there's so many things that get hidden and leveraged by political correct speak or talk. Whether you're in academia, again, any political stance on TV, everything's got to be politically correct, shined up. It's got to look really nice. And I think what happens with that is people are wordsmithing that type of conversation to where they're hiding a lot of the truth behind political correctness, and you miss some things in the name of political correctness. So there's not going to be any censorship on this channel. There's not, or content, and you're going to hear a lot of things that would normally be considered vulgar. Now, on this channel, if we're talking about baseline understanding of why we're doing purpose plus pursuit and bringing that vision to you, the baseline understanding that we view all of our content with is a revelational epistemology, or what we would say revealed knowledge from Scripture, from the Holy Bible. This is not a channel that is going to only be talking about faith-based topics. It's not a channel that's going to be geared towards any type of church, any type of particular viewpoint that is typically considered Christian. Now, I'm a Christian guy. A lot of the content that we come from, the baseline understanding that we're approaching either our argument or our view on comes from what we have revealed in Scripture. Now, I'm going to unpack that for you in all these videos slowly but surely, but it's important to know that even though I might say shit, ass, bitch, whatever comes out of my mouth, that does not contradict the revelational baseline epistemology or understanding that I'm approaching the content with. So we want to get rid of that cultural norm of being politically correct, even within the church. That's another thing that we're going to hit on a lot of our topics. I'll summarize those topics for you real quickly. So it'll be anything from what you see out there in the evangelical church to any economic topics. Bitcoin, macroeconomics is something that we want to have discussions about. Baseline, mid-grade, or surface level would be fantastic. And you're going to see that with some of our videos. So you're going to have long form podcasting or long form conversations or long form content coming to you once a week. You're going to have mid-grade coming as much as I humanly possibly can bring it to you, and then shorts peppering in all the time, because I think the idea behind that is to grab your attention, to take the money that's in your pocket, bring it into my pocket. That's really the whole purpose of this whole deal. And I think we all know what any of this stuff is about at the end of the day. And that's scientific fact from our spiritual leader, Matthew McConaughey. So I think we all can agree in consensus on that. So ideally, what we want to do here, though, is kind of just give you an outline for what we're going to be covering with our channel here. I think a lot of times when we have any pursuit, and I like to say pursuit because we don't want it to be something that is just a matter of fact and you accomplish this goal, whether it's having kids, getting married, having a house, perfect job, perfect fitness level, whatever it is, that when we hit that, it's not over. Then we have maintenance mode. So it's really always a pursuit. So when you have that pursuit, purpose, then we have vision, right? So, and the idea behind this is to know that whatever you're pursuing and whatever we're discussing and whatever topic and content aspect of life that we're really digging deep on, the purpose needs to be defined. And that would be what I would encourage all topics out there, or all the different ways that you can look at current events. Find out what is the purpose behind this. What's the purpose why this person is saying this? What's the purpose behind investing in Bitcoin? What's the purpose behind cryptocurrencies? What's the purpose behind even buying a home? Or what's the purpose behind living in California? What's the purpose behind being a Christian? What's the purpose behind being an atheist? Of course we can pursue any of those things. We can pursue bad things too. What's the purpose behind, purpose behind drinking alcohol, doing drugs? Cocaine and hookers, my friend, one of my favorite things. And in my idea, in my mind, what I'm sharing on this channel is all these pursuits that we have, the things that we do. If we outline the purpose, you're going to find out real quickly whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. You're still going to pursue it from time to time. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's a bad idea. You'll find yourself looking at it with a different view if you add that purpose. Now, the idea behind this whole thing is to make sure that you have vision for anything that you decide to take on as a pursuit in life. And what I can tell you about the small things that I've had experience with, being a father, owning a business, or not even so much owning a business, but building businesses up, being entrepreneurial, things like that. And I'm not saying I've had success in all those areas. I'm saying I've had experience in them. They're a current pursuit, to be honest with you. And in all those areas, I can tell you that with no vision, my goodness, you're going to be just like everybody else. And what's the point of being like everybody else? What's the idea behind doing anything in this life if you just have to be like everybody else? That sounds terrible to me. And I don't know about you guys, but I think the idea behind coming here is that each person is unique. Each pursuit is going to be unique if you have a vision behind it. But if you don't have a vision behind it, if there's no purpose to that pursuit, then you're going to be a part of the people that are constantly following something else, constantly chasing somebody else's vision. And some people are going to be okay with that. And I'm not here to tell you that you ought to do either one of those things. I'm here to tell you that I'm going to bring vision to you people in a lot of different topics. And what's going to happen here is you're going to find yourself, hopefully during this whole time, I can bring some entertainment, because that's my main idea. I think we all come on here and we start thinking about doing some type of podcasting or video, casting, whatever the hell you want to call it. And you start imagining that, you're going to get in here and you're going to impact people's lives and you're going to really, really get your message out there and make a big difference. Honestly, I could give a shit about that. If we meet each other in person, then I can make an impact into your life. Then I can show you something. Then I'll talk to you about my pursuits. I'll tell you about where my purpose is, and I'll show you my vision out there in person. It's not going to happen over this. This content's not going to do that. And in fact, most of what I would encourage through this content, you'll find it'll probably be one of the resounding things that is in all the videos, whether they're longs, mids, shorts, whatever that is coming over to you, is what you find in reality, what you can do in your local community, in these local assemblies of Christian believers. That's where the meat and potatoes is. That's where we have to dig in and drive hard. There's so many times where people are trying to make a difference. You hear and you see it. You see it in their little hearts. They're just really making an effort to do something, and bless them for that, that they have that type of intent in their life. But at the same time, is it really making a difference? Or is the purpose behind trying to help somebody out just trying to make yourself feel better? You got to define the purpose. And so we'll find ourselves throughout these videos defining the purpose. And then also, being that this is somewhat of a summary, I want to share with you the different pursuits that I've had in my time here. There's been quite a few different pursuits that I've had, and quite a different areas that I've tried to purpose myself to. I put a purpose, I had a purpose, things that I was pursuing. I had what I thought was a vision. Times they've failed, times they're still ongoing. There's never been a completion to anything in my life that I feel I've hit. We did it right, and now it's done and it's over. Small things, I'm sure. You graduate high school, you graduate college, you go and you do different educational things. You finish a particular project that you're doing, sure. But real things, big things, they don't really end. They're a pursuit that is from now till the end. And so that's what you're going to find here. In closing, one of the biggest things that I think I want to convey in these and in this opener is always where we're coming from on this channel is a revelational epistemology as our baseline understanding in the content we share, in our arguments, or in our purpose or our view, our vision. And I just want to outline that again. Revelational epistemology as our baseline vision. What that is, revelational, it is what is revealed in Scripture, Bible, the Holy Bible. We're going to do a whole video on why that is the authority for our epistemology, our understanding of knowledge, why we know what things are, why knowledge is what it is. How do you know what you know? How do you know this to be true? And you'll notice that when you ask these big questions, again, baseline, it has to have a measure or a full foundation of faith behind it. Me and you weren't there when the Big Bang happened, so to speak, or creation is what I would say, when God breathed creation into existence. Could be the same thing, right? But we weren't there. So you have to find some area that you decide through your reason and able to rationale your way through that, that you trust and that you have faith in, whether that's science, whether that's history, whether that's something you can touch and feel, so if you were going to deal with things that are just material, then that's different. Now you can materially look at it, you can use the scientific method to test it. But again, if you weren't there, and if you have other people that are trying to use things like the scientific method to test things today, to predict what happened in the past or to backdate what's happened in the past, now again, we're using faith. So if you're going to have faith in what people can bring to the table and said, hey, this is what we found, and based on what we found, this is what we think happened back then, based on these evidences that we can test today. I would encourage you to look a little deeper is all, and find out, is everything answered the way that you're taking for granted, that you've made a presupposition that it is answered by some of these hot and big topics that we take for granted? I will tell you where we come from is any topic, whether it's from sex to Bitcoin to business to traveling to the world to going to outer space to aliens, has to start and can only start and end with a revelational epistemological view on that. Meaning what we see from Scripture, revealed from Scripture, is our foundation and our standard of knowledge that we have faith in. And we use that as our hermeneutic or our interpretive lens for whatever topic it is. Does that mean you can figure out physics through that? Not a physics problem, but the reason physics works is because you have the laws of physics, which are based upon things having a normative principle in life. Why are things normative? Why are things the same today from yesterday? These answers are there, but if we're following evolutionary principles or Darwinian evolution, things actually change. Therefore, we don't really know what it was like in the past. Things have evolved in that viewpoint. On our viewpoint, evolution in our time frame, sure, things evolve. But at the same time, we have a record from God that we can look back on and say, this is why this happens. This is why we know things are going to be the same, because God said it's going to be the same. He's the authority. So this is a big topic. This is a big, let's say, area of conflict between so many different people. It could even be people within what you would call the church or the visible church, people that call themselves Christians, or somebody who's even just a person of faith, right? They would have a lot of different views on, is revelational epistemology or is philosophy or is science, are those cohesive, or are they at odds with one another? So I'm going to bring you a layman's view on those. I'm not going to sit here and try to bring out, a bunch of different text and bore you with those things. But it's important to know that when we go through any of our topics, that is our baseline starting point. And whether it's a small topic, whether it's a big topic, whether it's a topic you would never associate that with, because this is our opening video, I wanted to take an extra period of time just to kind of really root the rest of the channel. Who knows how many people are going to come back to this, on understanding that all of our baseline arguments and understandings and content comes from a revelational epistemology. And that's where we're coming from. Thanks for stopping in. We will be talking to you very, very soon.